John Whitelaw has more than 30 years of experience representing low-income and other vulnerable clients in various legal aid programs.
Went to a conference on racism and had this moment where I figured out the revolution is not happening, and that given my sort of how my brain works and how I do things, the way for me to sort of do social justice work was to become a lawyer. And so it was a moment. I was maybe 19 or 20, it was in my sophomore year of college, and right then and there it was, I'm going to law school.
John graduated from law school, from Stanford Law School, Order of the Coif at the top of his class, could have done anything he wanted, and John, to his credit, chose to do civil legal aid work for his vocation, and he's, to his credit, that's the work he's done for his entire career of almost 40 years now.
So John's been doing this a long time, providing direct help to people who need it. I think the big thing that sets John apart from other people is it's not just about helping people get what they need. He understands and makes sure that you understand that it's what people deserve.
John rejoined Community Legal Aid Society, Inc., or CLASI, as its first Advocacy Director in December 2017.
When I became Executive Director, one of my initial goals was to try and get John Whitelaw back to our organization. I sensed that we were going to be undergoing a generational shift in the organization, and we needed people of his experience and accomplishments to train and mentor the next generation of legal aid lawyers.
I met John over Zoom during the pandemic, and it was very clear to me very immediately that if you're ever talking to John, you know that you're talking about what's going to be good for poor people, what's going to be good for vulnerable people. You know, you're talking to someone who's on the right side of the issue.
Traditionally, a lot of legal aid work has been thought of as anti-poverty work, separate and apart from racial issues. And I think that we're now seeing in the last 15 years, recognizing much more the racial component to the work that we do. And so that racial justice is much more a part of anti-poverty work than it had been historically. Not that it was absent, and there's obviously a significant overlap between poverty issues and racial issues, although not a complete overlap. But initially I would absolutely say that I started out as thinking of myself as an anti-poverty advocate, but that's much too narrow a vision for the work that we do.
John also participates in many coalitions and provides advice and technical assistance to community partners as well as regional and national advocacy organizations. Locally, these include the Delaware Continuum of Care, Housing Alliance Delaware, the Delaware Manufactured Homeowners Association, and the Delaware Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
John also is undoubtedly one of the nation's foremost experts in public benefits law. He trains all over the country on Social Security law and helps advocates throughout the country when they have questions relating to Social Security and public benefits law.
People get called to do this work. It can be religious. For me, it's not a religious calling, but you do work to advance the cause of social justice because you have to internally. And where does that come from? I don't know in that sense, but it's always been sort of part of who I am. The work is never done, but we should still do it.